Okay, sorry about that. We got my, I ran out of storage on my phone, so that last part of the video got cut off. So after you have added the examinee's information, you can see that there's no test records found. So that's the next thing that we need to do, is we need to add in a test record. So if we have, you'll see we're under administration right now, click on examinees. You can click on search/edit to pull up the student. I've already done that, so here's my student, and we're going to click over here in the lower right hand corner, add test record. We're going to do the WJCOG, and we're going to click continue. Okay, now date of testing is required to be put in. The date of testing for my student was November 8. Oops. 2014. Oh, sorry, my bad. 082014. Okay. So once you do that, it will calculate the chronological age for you, which is nice. Again, a lot of my experience has been that my supervisors have not plugged in this information. If Dr. Graves wants you to plug in this information, we will need to address that with him. Typically speaking, we would put in the examiner though, so I'm just going to do my initials for right now, but you can type in your full name if you want. So for the standard battery, as you can see, 1 through 10, these are all of the things that we administered to our student, so we need to go through and put in the number correct. Now, each time you click on a subtest, it's very simple. It will tell you to enter the number correct. So for 1A, we should have, sorry for the shakiness. For 1A, we should have 13. For 1B, we should have 17. So the nice thing about this is that when you click on the spot, it tells you that it should be a number between 0 to 31. So if your number is way far off, then you've either entered the number in wrong or you've looked at the wrong subtest and entered the wrong number in the wrong spot. So that's a very helpful part of this online scoring. So for 2, it's going to be 30. And I'm just going to go right down here, and letter pattern matching will be 52, and my student did take the full 3 minutes. If your student takes shorter time than that, then you can change this. For 5A, plug this in. For B1, we had 11. B2, we had 3. And 5C, we had 15. Okay. So now for story recall, remember we administered not all of these. So you'll see the directions say to put an X if it is not administered. We did not administer stories 1 through 2. We did not administer items 3 through 4. We did administer stories 5 through 6. So that will be 16. 7 through 8 was 18. 18. And we did not administer stories 9 through 10, so we put an X. If you do not put X's here, it will not generate the test record for you. You have to have that put in before you can move forward. So 7A, we have 18. 7B, we have 17. 8A, we have 14. 8B, we have 17. For concept formation, we have 37, and remember wherever the cutoff was, there was a letter associated with it. For us, it was E, so you want to make sure that you put that in. And then numbers reversed was 18. We did not do any of the extended battery. One thing that I will recommend that you do is that you double and triple check that you put the right numbers in the right spots, because if you don't, it will give you, obviously the test record will be inaccurate, and we don't want that. So please double and triple check that you put the right numbers in the right spots. Okay, so So we're going to scroll down. We did not talk about this, but the front page has the test session observations checklist. You can choose to use this, and then you can plug it into the online score report, and it will include information. So you would enter 1 through 5. You would enter whatever level of conversational proficiency the student had, 1 being very advanced, 5 being very limited. Okay? Okay, do you have any reason to believe this testing session may not represent a fair sample of the examinee's abilities? You can click yes or no. Were any modifications made to the standardized test procedures during the administration? So these are just additional items that you can fill out if you need to. So at this point, in the lower right-hand corner, we're going to click Commit Test Record. Once you commit, your testing date will be locked in order to provide reporting. Will be locked in, sorry. You will have 90 days to make changes or edits. Are you sure you want to commit? And we just click yes. Okay, so we successfully committed the test record. So now at this point we need to generate the score report. So we'll go to Reports, click Create Report, click on Score Report, Examinee Selection. So in My Referrals, here we go. We've got our kiddo. So it automatically fills this in. We do for the normative basis, we click Age. So we can create score selection templates. For this one, we're just going to do the default. We'll learn in class more about different templates, but basically this is just the format that the score report comes out in, and we can mess around with that in class. So options, we include all of these because each of them can give us different information. Now notice we did not click BIA because we did not do a BIA, we did GIA, right? Okay. Variations, let's just select all of them. Comparisons, they're all selected. Now I will say for these, Dr. Graves may have different expectations for how you do this. So again, we'll need to double check with him. Generally speaking though, it's all we're doing right now is different ways of looking at the data is basically what these are, and we can talk more about this in class. Grouping option. So I generally list them in numerical order separately from clusters, but you can do either of these other options. And it's just, again, it's just a different way of looking at the data in terms of organization. And your output, you can do PDF or Word. I typically do Word. And then you're going to click Run Report. Okay. Now, as you can see, it just downloaded a score report. So I'm going to click on it to open it. And here we go. We have our score report. Notice this information didn't fill in because I didn't input it. Let me try to zoom in here for a minute. There you go. Okay. So we have our age equivalent. We have our standard score, and in parentheses is the 95% confidence interval. So for example, the GIA for this student was a 99, which, as you should know, that is in the average range, and the confidence interval is 91 to 106. And if you notice, we have the RPI here. Okay, the RPI is a very helpful piece of information that we will go over in class. So just be aware of that is something that is talked about, at least in Columbus City schools. It's just it's another way of assessing the student to see their performance. So we'll talk about that in lab. Down here, these are those variations. You can choose to take some of them off if you want to. Again, we'll have to double check with Dr. Graves. And then here are the comparisons. So when I had them listed in number or in order, So we have 1, 2, 3, it just goes right down 1 through 10. So we can see performance on the subtest level and then also on the cluster level. Okay, and that's it for the scoring videos.